Okay, so here I am with a new video. Actually, I'm trying a new software, so maybe there's a problem with the device. Um, for a quick recap, in the last video, we saw that calculations need to be carried out in a particular order. This order is not necessarily from left to right. For example, if you take the example 2 plus 3 times 4, then our answer will be 14, not 20, because we have to do the multiplication part first. So 2 plus 3 times 4, which is 12, which gives us 14. But if we do from left to right, which is obviously wrong, then we're gonna solve this part first. So 3 plus 2 gives 5 times 4, which gives us 20. So a useful way of remembering. Yeah. So a useful way of remembering that I was telling you the order is BODMAS, which I explained in my last video, and we did some practice questions too. So B represents brackets. So whenever we solve any kind of question, we have to solve the brackets first. Then comes the order, which is like solve the exponents, the powers and square roots. In fact, let's erase this from here. And yeah. So here, I was telling you first solve the brackets, then solve the orders, which are like solve exponents, powers, and square roots. Then we have division and multiplication, which always goes from left to right if there are just two of these, and addition and subtraction, which also moves from left to right. In this video, we are gonna. Some people, one quick note is that some people like to call it BODMAS too. For example, BIDMAS. Now everything's the same, but this represents indices, which is just uh, some people call it indices too. So which is um, so we have indices, which is kind of close to if you have heard the word index. So it's the same as pars and square roots, just a fancy name of them. So don't be confused if you look at the BODMAS or the BODMAS, but I prefer calling it the BODMAS. So in this video, we're gonna solve some questions of order of operations when simplifying fractions, expressions, in fact. So just a few questions, and the next video, which will be the practice video, we will solve the main ones. Let me erase all of this. So here, yeah. So let's begin with the very first question. Yeah. So question number 1. We have to simplify. I'm just writing the questions here. You'll be able to see the questions on the screen. So 2a plus 3 times 4a minus a. Now I'll just write BODMAS. Yeah. So if you don't have the brackets and the orders or the exponents, then we usually call it DMAS instead of calling it BODMAS. So because we don't have any pars or any brackets here, so we will just rule DMAS here. Just use the rule. So we have addition, we have subtraction, but before addition and subtraction, we have multiplication. So this part will be solved first. So which will equal to 2a plus 3 times 4 is 12, and a minus a. Now, because all of these are like terms, because we have the same variables, and variables, if you remember, are alphabets in algebra. So because we just have addition and subtraction, we can solve from left to right, if you remember from here. So we can simply solve this part first, or this part first, like this part first, or this part first. It doesn't matter, we are going to get the same result. I will show you how to solve them in both the ways, but it is always preferred to solve from left to right. Okay, so let's just do in the preferred way first. So if we add this, we get 12 plus 2, which equals 14. a minus a. When there's no number before, we have 1, so 14 minus 1 gives us 13, and a remains the same. In the other way, we have the same expression, 2a equals to 2a plus 12a. I'm just rewriting this part, minus a. We're going to solve this part first. I mean, we're moving from right to left, so 2a will remain the same. 2a will remain the same, plus minus the sign of the greater number, which is 12. And remember, the sign is always before the number. So plus here, and 1 again here, so 12 minus 1 gives us 11a. And then we are going to add the numbers. 11 plus 2 gives us 13a. So in both the cases, we get the same answer. Let's move on to question number 2. Let me change. Okay, so let's do second question. It is again simplify the expression. Now, on a quick note, I'll just explain the difference between expression and equation. So, space here, just add a line here. This separation line. And let's explain. So we have expression and we have equation. So expression is when we have something, for example, 4a plus 3a times 4a. This is an expression, and 4a plus 3a equals 5b minus 3c. This is an equation. Now, the very simple and basic explanation of it is equation is where we have an equal sign, and expression is where we don't have an equal. So we can have this as a simple definition. In fact, an expression is used to represent a value in an algebraic form. Um, for example, if I give an example here, then you'll have. I'm just giving an example of expression. So we have this line here, and it is representing some kind of length. So we can say that if we have a line here, and from this point to this point, the length is 3, and from this point to this point, the length is x. So we can say that the length of the line will be given by the expression here, which is x plus 3. So this is kind of where we can expression. So you can simply say that an expression is different from an equation. Um, an equation contains an equal sign that shows that the expressions on either sides of it are equal to each other. For example, another example of an equation can be x plus 1. Now this is an expression. This is an expression. And we have one other expression, which is y minus 2, maybe. Okay. This is also so this is also an expression. And we can say that both of these are equal. So both of these expressions are equal. So this whole part becomes an equation. So this was a brief difference between equation and expression. Let's move back to our question. I didn't write it yet. So I'll write it here. Yes. So question number 2.